Closet, a Todd Mills mystery. Book 1. Author R.D. Zimmerman. Publisher Scribble Pub. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Narrator Eric Aust. Chapter 17. Todd lay there, heart thumping, his face mashed against the floor. He thrashed once, tried to free himself, but when he moved, another streak of lightning-fast pain shot up his arm. "Just calm down, Todd," Detective Rawlings said sternly. "It's just me. I'm not going to hurt you. What the hell are you doing here?" "My job." "What about you?" Totally exhausted, Todd only muttered, "My arm." "I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let your arm go now, okay? Just your arm. Don't get up." "Don't worry." Todd felt his arm release, and he pulled it over, dropped it to his side. He tried to move, but couldn't. Rawlings was still straddling him, sitting on his back. "Get off." Rawlings gently rubbed the back of Todd's neck. "You all right, buddy? You all calm down?" "Get the hell off me." "Not until you calm down. I don't want you jumping up and getting all excited. I don't want any problems." "Okay," Todd forced himself to say. "I'm okay." Rawlings lifted himself off, and then Todd spun to the side, rolling onto his back. He lay there staring at the dark figure of Rawlings, who now sat not 2 feet away on the edge of Michael's bed. Todd demanded, "Didn't you see that fire poker I had? I could have killed you." "Big deal. I got a gun. I could have killed you." Rawlings scratched his head, turned away, looked back. "You still haven't told me why you're here. You know if I report this, you could be in big trouble. This place is still a sealed crime scene." "I was looking for something." "Like what?" "Something belongs to me." "You weren't going to remove evidence from a crime scene, were you?" "My checkbook," blurted Todd. "I think I left it over here." "Yeah, you did, and we have it now downtown. It's evidence. You should have just asked. I could have saved you a lot of hassle." "Gee, thanks. Next time I'll be sure and remember how thoughtful you are." Todd pushed himself to his feet and stood there in the dark bedroom. "If you're here doing your job, why did I just see you somewhere else? Like in a very big gay bar?" "What kind of hotshot investigative reporter are you?" "What's that mean?" "Just put 2 and 2 together, you idiot. You saw me downtown, and now you see me here." "My, what a big coincidence." "Oh, shit," moaned Todd. "You followed me?" "What a brilliant conclusion. You really are sharp. No wonder you won those Emmys." "Fuck you." Todd shook his head. "And get off Michael's bed." Yeah. Todd didn't like being in here, not in this particular bedroom with Rawlings, and so he turned, started out, and then stopped. He took out his small flashlight, flicked it on, and aimed it at the reddish stain, which seemed to glow. Stumbling into a hole, Todd wondered if there had been much of a struggle, much pain, if Michael had died slowly or quickly. "Come on," said Rawlings, placing a hand on Todd's shoulder. "You shouldn't be in here. Besides, we got a cop checking on this place every night, and I don't think it would be too good for him to find you in here." "I'll only lie so much, you know." Todd didn't move even as Rawlings slipped the flashlight out of Todd's hand. Rawlings returned to the bedroom, smoothed the bedspread, then came out and returned the poker to the living room. Leaning against the wall, Todd felt like the truth of what had happened was slipping further and further away. He heard Jeff's sharp words, saw the dried blood before him. Michael was buried, but now what? "Come on," said Rawlings. "Out we go." With Rawlings leading the way with the flashlight, Todd let himself be steered along and past the bloodstain. Todd took one look back, then stepped through the door, down the stairs, and into the basement. As Rawlings stood up at the top of the steps, closing the door, Todd muttered, "This door wasn't padlocked." "Yeah, don't worry about it, man." "Here," said Todd, reaching into his pocket. "You're going to need my key to lock up." "Nope, I'm all set. Detective Lewis and I each have a copy." Oh. Moments later, they were passing up the other stairs to the back door. And finally outside. As they passed across the lawn, Todd asked, "Where's Michael's car?" "We're all done with it. I think you can pick it up any time now." "I'll call Maggie. She should have it." Walking down the alley, Todd seemed to grow more tired with each step. Had Michael's service only been this afternoon? It already felt like days ago, and that realization frightened him. Was he losing Michael that quickly? At the end of the alley, Rawlings turned left, and Todd stopped, nodded in the other direction, and said, "I'm parked this way." "Right. I'll walk you to your car." Todd continued up the quiet street, and Rawlings followed, keeping silent pace as they neared the Cherokee. Todd cleared his throat. "Listen, I'm sorry about that," he began, his breath streaming in the air. "I mean, I'm glad I didn't clobber you with a poker." "Me too." "Assaulting a police officer is all I need." Todd stared down the straight street, put his hands in his pockets. "I didn't even see you down there." "What?" "Down at the lake, on the parkway," clarified Todd. "Oh, right. I thought I was the only car parked down there." Rawlings shrugged. "What can I say? That's my job." He stared at the ground, then looked up at the night sky. "Are you going to be all right?" "Well, oh, sure. The man I love is dead. I probably lost my job, and the entire fucking world knows I'm queer. Other than that, hell, things are great." "And your arm?" "I twisted it pretty good." "It's okay." Todd shook his head. "Hell, I don't know. I think it's just all catching up with me. It's been a hell of a long day, not to mention a week." "Yeah, well, get some sleep, and don't worry about tonight. I won't mention it down at the station." As Todd started to take his keys from his pockets, Rawlings moved forward. Todd flinched. He stood quite stiff as he felt Rawlings' arm wrap around his back and embrace him tightly. And then the moment of hesitation evaporated. Todd returned the hug, even pulling Rawlings' thick, hard body against his and reveling in it. Someone to lean on. It just felt so good, so solid. Todd breathed in faintly, smelled cologne mixed with bar smoke, and his hand slipped upward, sensed the short hair on the back of Rawlings' neck. A car whizzing around the corner, the headlights sweeping like spotlights and exposing their embrace. Todd and Rawlings quickly broke apart, each of them pushing back a couple of steps. Todd flinched, feared what might happen, and it did. The brake lights of the big old Ford flared up as it came to a quick halt. Both Todd and Rawlings kept their eyes on the vehicle, fearing the next few moments. Sure enough, one of the doors flung open. Were there now going to be a bunch of guys with baseball bats? No, only one guy emerged, and he shouted to the guys in the car, laughed, and then jogged up to a big stucco house. Relief rushed through Todd, and he said, "I've got to go." "Sure." Rawlings looked up at the night sky again. "Look, I'm going to give you a call tomorrow. Just to check in, make sure you're okay. You won't mind, will you?" No, not at all." Perplexed, Todd climbed into his Cherokee. He started up the vehicle and glanced in the rearview mirror. He had his foot on the brake, and in the red glow he saw the muscular Rawlings heading down the street toward his car, a lone figure disappearing into the night. Just what, wondered Todd, had the detective really been after? Gay Mysteries audiobooks. I think it is easy to hate a label, but a face humanizes the word. So this effort is twofold: to offer comfort to those like myself that your world didn't end because you don't fit into the view of acceptable society on both sides, and in hopes of helping those with family that are LGBTQ, that it doesn't mean we are aliens from the child they once knew. Reassure them so they can maybe be supportive at the same time, being true to their values.